Hello, fellow Earthlings, planet positive people. On today's Good Eco News, remote working. It is a game changer for carbon footprints and taking care of the planet. There's the kind of jammy remote work where you're on your computer the minute you've had your first cup of tea. Oh, I know for a lot of you it's coffee. They actually say we all should be drinking more water, but I'm no life coach. Oh, unless it comes to saving the planet. With the jammy kind of remote work, there is no time lost to horrendous fossil fuel powered commuting in a car. If you've got a half-hour trip each way, that's 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week. By the end of a month, 20 hours. That is half of a 40-hour work week that you got back just like that. Cheers. Tea is delicious. But what is going to take remote working to the highest level is when video conferencing, Zoom and Skype is so good that you'll be able to be with colleagues anywhere as the best possible virtual you. That, my friends, is when we will reduce carbon dioxide pollution from air travel by 10% a year. Right now, video conferencing is considered a poor substitute for quality face-to-face time. But technology is getting so advanced that telepresence, being in a meeting via screen view, will be like actually having you there. No weird delays or pixelated embarrassing in you. Picture these sci-fi teleconferences like this. You've got a virtual reality headset on, you're wearing sweats, you haven't shaved, and you're having kind of a weird reaction to your last cup of coffee of the day. Meanwhile, Telepresence you is in a gorgeous Armani suit, in a 3D futuristic interfacing conference room, feeding off the incredible synergistic brainstorming / project hack vibe that's coming from your most creative colleagues who are actually in a room on the other side of the world in a time zone that's 17 hours ahead of the one your actual body is in. That's some seriously good remote. And eco bingo, because expensive, carbon-intensive, long-distance business air travel, eliminated. It's calculated with the adoption of high-level video conferencing, companies could cut out 16% of business travel at a savings of $43 billion a year. It would represent about 5 million business trips. Oh, and not to mention the net gain of the almost 3 billion work hours that get gobbled up in all that travel time. That, my friends, is what I would call a win-win-win situation. Win for the employer, the employee, and the environment. These are the kind of big numbers that you would expect from a high-tech, high-impact solution. I'm going to put some links below so that you can read even more about the research, and you'll see that these projections are just the plausible ones. If we cut business travel by 50%, the impact is even higher. And then think of all the jet lag, the horrible airline meals, the stress of lost baggage, the awful losing all that quality family time. I mean, all that goes away. Right now, a full-time employee working remotely saves the average US employer $10,000 a year in real estate costs. Working remotely is a thing that took off after the 2008 recession when companies really needed to cut costs. But it pretty soon became obvious that there were going to be savings all the way around. An employee can save $7,000 in commuting and work clothing costs, reduced childcare, all the eating out and food costs. So there are savings to be made on both sides and a lowering of carbon footprints, not to mention happier staff. People are more productive when they're not tied to the sacrifices of a rigid 9 to 5, 40 to 60 hour work week, and can instead put in those hours at the optimum time for themselves and include family obligations and their weird exercise ball routines. No one at work gets to see this. Productivity can increase by 5% because one of the big benefits of working at home, there's no socializing, there are no chatty colleagues to distract me from the business at hand. Remote working is also allowing professionals to leave expensive, crowded cities and have lower mortgage, less stressed lifestyles in smaller rural towns. There's more space for the kids and for themselves. I mean, it could be just the boon that rural areas need to regain people and relevance. And it's becoming a norm. A lot of workers won't take a job unless there's a remote option. It's estimated in 5 years' time, 70% of us will work at least 5 days a month from home. Imagine improving the quality of your life and the health of the planet while in your jammies, or some of your jammies. Yes, there are downsides to working at home. You know, you can miss having those colleagues around. It can feel a little bit isolated, and the work-life, boundary, that can get a little bit blurred. You can still be answering emails at 10 p.m. at night. But if you can sort of set yourself some sensible limits to emails and screen time, like we do with kids, this pivot is already happening, and we need to make friends with this new work-life reality, because it is really going to help our other friend, the big friend, the planet, out. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.